students, welcome back to my class. So this class doesn't need a specific introduction. Already we are going to continue the same lesson of the class 8th, 5th forest. So the next subtopic which we are going to continue is the types of forest. Under that we are going to learn about the thorny forest. Types of forests. Under this already two we have completed in the previous class. So the third type of forest today we are discussing is the thorny. Thorny means kantedar, okay? Kantedar forest. So let's discuss and understand what type of forest are these and where they are located and what they are producing. These forests grow in very dry areas with little rainfall and high temperatures. So this type of forests are going to take place where there is lesser rainfall, and the dry areas where there is less rainfall, scanty rainfall you can say, and the temperature must be very high. In simple words, the temperature which is very hot. In these places these thorny forests are going to be located, okay, in such areas. Most of the trees are thorny. So in this type of forest most of the trees are thorny. Thorny is nothing but, just now I said, like kante wale trees, kantedar. The common trees are babul, bulusu, regu, sitafal, muduga, neem, etc. So these are the names of the trees which are going to grow in this forest. So what are those? Babul tree, trees, okay, and neem, sitafal, and what else? Bulusu, etc. Okay. In Telangana, they are found in Nalgonda, Mehboob and some parts of the Medak district. So these type of forest in Telangana are found in Nalgonda, okay, Nalgonda, Medak districts, and where else? In the Mehboob Nagar also. You may recall these districts get very little rainfall nearing desert conditions. So in these districts like Nalgonda, Medak, Mehboob Nagar, in these districts we can recall them that they get very little rainfall nearing desert conditions. Thorny trees have very tiny leaves and thorns which help to conserve water. So in this forest basically we have come to know that the trees are going to be thorny trees only, okay. So these thorny trees will have very tiny leaves and thorns. Thorns are nothing but the kante, okay, which help to conserve water, which helps to store the water due to the thorns, okay. The forests are also not dense and have open spaces and more undergrowth with fewer trees. So in this forest there is no high density and have open spaces, okay, what we can say spacious. The forest is very spacious in this type of forest and more undergrowth with fewer trees, and the trees are also very few in thorny forest. I hope it is clear to everyone where this type of forest are going to take place and how the area should be. It should be very dry and the temperature should be high, very less rainfall, and in those places only this thorny forest are going to take its place. And what are the trees which are going to occur? Vegetation, it means vegetation is these types of trees are going to grow in this thorny forest. And what else we have come to know? Where they are located? They are located in Nalgonda, Medak and Mehboob Nagar districts. And what else we have come to know? That the leaves are very tiny and the thorns are very much. so that due to that thorns only, that the trees, that the small tiny leaves are going to store the water. Why? Because they doesn't have enough rainfall. Dry temperatures are there, and what else? High and hot temperatures will be there. So that is why these leaves, these trees will conserve the water, however, whatever they are getting. And what else? And these types of forests are very much spacious, and they must be having a very fewer trees. I hope it is clear to everyone. So without any further delay, let's move to the another type of the forest, and the last kind of forest is the littoral and swamp forests. So let's see in detail about such kind of forest. These forests grow mostly on the sea coast, sandy beaches and marshy lands. What do you mean by marshy lands? Marshy, so first let me write the names, let me write the names of the places where these forests are going to take its place or grow. So they are the sea coasts, and what else? Sandy beaches, and marshy lands. What do you mean by marshy lands? Marshy lands are nothing but the daldal type. Yes, marshy lands, okay, where the daldal is covered. So that land is called marshy lands. So this forest will grow in such area: sea coast, sandy beaches and marshy lands, which is covered with the daldal, okay, and on lands affected by tidal waves. And one more thing is, and the lands which are covered with the tidal waves. Everybody knows what are waves. Waves means, in Hindi what we will call? Waves are nothing but the lehre. Yes, waves means lehre, tidal waves. So waves, so what do you mean by tidal waves? Tidal waves are nothing but waves, very large waves that occurs in a sea. Okay, so let me explain you. So these four types of forest are going to occur on the places like sea coast, sandy beaches, marshy lands and on the tidal waves also. Okay, so what do you mean by tidal waves? Waves are nothing but the lehre. In Hindi we will call it as. What about the tidal waves? Tidal waves, very large waves that occur in a sea and destroy things when they reach the lands. If these waves come out of the sea and occur on the lands, it may destroy so many things. So these type of waves are called tidal waves. I hope it is clear to everyone. So these types of forests will occur on such lands also. Okay, on affected by tidal waves. Here the trees are adapted to salt waters, and the flow of tidal waves submerge the areas for some hours of the day and recede. Recede means move away. Okay, so in these types of forest, obviously they are going to grow in the water bodies, very close to the water bodies like sea coasts and sandy beaches, marshy lands. So these trees will occur very close to the water bodies. That is why they are adapted to the salt waters. Obviously in the seas, in the oceans, there must be having the salt water only. So that is why this littoral forest will adapt the salt waters, and the flow of tidal waves, what they are doing? They are submerging the areas for some hours of the day. Submerging means mixing all together for some hours of the day and recede. What do you mean by recede? Move away, and then just for few hours they are going to submerging it, and after that they are receding. Receding is nothing but the moving away. Thus alternating salt water flooding and drying. So the water which is coming from the seas and from the beaches is flooding and getting drying. These are also called mangrove forest. So these type of forest is also called as mangrove forests. Okay. The trees have developed some unique features to survive in this difficult environment. So the main important point to consider in this type of forest is that the trees in such forest are going to develop some kind of a unique features that helps them to survive in this difficult environment. So the trees are having a unique feature so that they can survive in this difficult environment. Obviously the environment is going to be very difficult and very challenging. Why? Because these forests will grow on such areas where there is water and tidal waves. The waves, everybody knows that how the waves will come. These waves will come naturally and they are very, what we can say, problematic for such kind of forest. And the tidal waves, if they come or reach out of the land, they destroy so many things. That is why the trees which are grown in these type of forest are going to survive with a unique features. Okay, they are carrying some kind of unique features so that they can survive in this difficult and challenging environment. So the types of forest we have completed. So let's move to the next subtopic, is the status of forest in Telangana. So let's see what is the status of the forest in our region. You read about some of the important kinds of forest in our state. Yes, we have read about the types of forest which occur in our state is the deciduous forest. Yes, but how large are our forests? So this is the question which is getting rise up, that how large these forests are. Are they increasing or decreasing? Let us find out. Is these forests are decreasing or increasing in our state? About 26,904 square kilometers of the region has been declared as forest by the government. So how much area the government has declared that it should be the land of the forest is the 26,904 square kilometer. Okay, so 26,904 square kilometer of the region, of the Telangana region, is declared as forest by the government. This is about 24%. Okay, it is 24% of all land in the region, or nearly 1/4 of our state. Okay, 1/4 of the state we can consider, or we can assume it is like 24% should be declared by the government as the forest land. However, all this is not really forested, but ऐसा हो नहीं रहा. 24% of the land is not under the forest. Okay, it is not working in the forest. This 24% of the land. Only 16.74% of our land has trees covered to qualify as forest. So how much land is considered as forest land? Qualified percentage कितना है? Only 16.74% is qualified as forest land. See the difference, students, 16.74 and 24%. Okay, is only 16.74 land is used for forest purpose. Okay, this means that is about 7% of land, forest lands are open grounds and with very few trees. So it means that 7% is remaining. 24 minus 16.74, if we calculate, the remaining is 7% of forest land are open grounds. There is no trees, no cultivation, nothing, etc. Okay, 7% is still ground lands and with very few trees. With very few trees only, we cannot consider this 7% as a forest. Okay, even this forest cover is dwindling due to felling, encroachment, mining, etc. Okay, still even the forest cover is due to felling, encroachment, mining, etc. So these kinds of work are taking place on the 7% of the forest land. Okay, ये जो 7% है, what the people are doing on this land which is declared by the government, it should be 24%. Only 16% is getting used by for the forest purpose. Remaining 7%, only few trees are there and other commercial works are happening over there like mining, etc., etc. Every year about 30 square kilometer of forest are lost in our state. So every year how much percentage of forest are lost in our Telangana is the 30 square kilometer. Okay, 30 square kilometer of the forest land every year we are losing it. So this is the status of the forest in our Telangana. I hope it is clear to everyone how much the government has declared, how much the forest is getting used for its actual purpose. It is nothing but the 16.74%, remaining 7% other works are getting done on the 7% of the forest land. And every year we are losing the forest which is about 30 square kilometers. Every year 30 square kilometer of the land are lost in our state. So this is the status of the forest. I hope it is clear to everyone. In the next class we are going to continue with a new subtopic which is the tribal people and forest. Till then, revise the types of forest and the status of forest in our Telangana. In the next class we are going to continue the same lesson but with the new subtopic. I hope you have understood till now. Revise these subtopics. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.